Hi everyone. This is a video to help you make any corrections to quiz number 2, which was all about claim, evidence, and reasoning, which we also call CERs. So let's take a look at the problems from quiz number 2. For this quiz, we gave you 2 different situations, and you had to answer the question that's shown in white. Does this represent a proportional relationship? So let's take a look at the first situation, which is Diego sells Takis out of his locker during passing time. He charges $1.59 per bag. In order to answer that question, we need to know a few things. What's the starting point of this, and are we changing at a constant rate? To help answer those 2 questions, we like to use evidence in the form of a table, a graph, and an equation to help answer and support our reasoning for this. So let's take a look at those 3 pieces of evidence. All right, so in front of us are the 3 pieces of evidence that we really look at when we try to determine if something's proportional or not. The thing that I'm going to look at is trying to determine what's my starting point. And when I look at the table or the graph, I notice that when I have 0 bags that I'm selling, or if I'm Diego and I've sold 0 bags, I'm charging $0. That's noticeable right there where I circled it in purple on the table, and I can see that on the graph right here in purple as well. And in the equation, since there's nothing additional added to the equation that I have here, I know that I don't have any additional starting fees, so I'm starting at 0 for my starting point, which is one of the 2 pieces of evidence we use to help prove proportionality. The next one is, do I have a unit rate? Am I increasing by the same amount every single time? So in green, or actually I'm going to do this in red, I'm going to circle my unit rate where I see it in the table, in the graph, and in the equation. The unit rate for us is always when we sell one thing or when we have one of something. And in the table, I noticed that for 1 bag, I was charging, or it's going to cost $1.59. So I can see in red 3 different places that there is a unit rate in this case, which helps prove proportionality. So I have 2 pieces of evidence to help me prove that this is actually a proportional relationship. And I have lots of evidence that I can talk about to help me support that. So next, I have to make my claim, and I have to write my evidence with reasons to help support it. So I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to pause my video right now and type that up, and then talk to you about what I write. So the first thing that I wrote was the claim. And I stated this situation does represent a proportional relationship. Notice I did not just use one word and say proportional or say yes. It needed to be a complete sentence. So I had to write that this situation does represent a proportional relationship to make people understand what I'm really talking about, what those words proportional mean, or what that yes would have referred to. Next, I have to write my explanation. Why am I saying that? So I've just typed up my explanation, and I did leave some things out, but I talked about some important features that you can draw readers' attention to help prove that it is a proportional relationship. So now I'm going to read my evidence and explanation to support my claim. I know this is a proportional relationship because it starts at 0, 0 and has a unit rate. If you look at the table and graph, you can see when 0 bags are sold, Diego makes $0. Also, since there is no addition in the equation, there will not be a starting cost for 0 bags purchased. This situation also has a unit rate of $1.59. In the equation, you are multiplying that rate by the number of bags, which means you're constantly changing by the same amount. These are just some examples of what you could say to help support it. But what we're looking for in your claim, evidence, and reasoning is that you draw the reader's attention back to the evidence that you created. So talk specifically, where do they look in the table? Where do they look in the graph? Where do they look in the equation? Thank you for watching this video. I hope this helps. Bye.